Phillips, publisher of the Daily Mountain Eagle here. This is our 4th annual Walker County Media Days, and we're excited to be here at Five Loaves Bakery this year. It's a little different. We don't have fans here. We don't have parents with the players and things like that, but we've got each coach of our area football teams. We've got 2 players from each team, and we're going to be kicking off the high school football season today with our annual Walker County Media Days. It's a little different because of COVID. Everybody's got masks on. We'll be social distancing, as you'll see when we go to our media members asking questions. So just kind of bear with us, but we think it's going to be a lot of fun, and you'll get some information about each of our local teams as we head into the high school football season. I don't want to waste any time. Let's get straight into our teams. Our first one is the Cordova Blue Devils and their new head coach, Justin Palmer. Coach, I'm going to let you take over and you give some opening comments and introduce your players, and then we'll take questions from media members.
Okay, sounds good. First of all, thank you guys for putting this on and having us here. Never really been a part of anything like this as far as this media day goes, so this is really neat. It's good for high school football. It's good for this county. So again, really appreciate you guys putting this on. I'm Justin Palmer, first year head coach at Cordova. Grew up Hamilton, Alabama. Been gone to Tennessee the last 10 years. So, grew up a Bama boy, really excited to be back in Alabama, especially at a school like Cordova that's got such a rich tradition. Administration's been fantastic over there. Miss Brown, really enjoyed working with her so far. Got some really good assistant coaches over at Cordova as well. A lot of guys that are from Cordova that are passionate about the football program and the school and the town. So it's been really cool, hearing some old stories from those guys and getting to know a little bit more about Cordova. Today with me, I've got 2 seniors, Blaze Nix, linebacker, and Adam O'Rear, wide receiver. And then I've got my director of football ops, my 6-year-old son, Jax, who's over there on his tablet right now, getting practice ready for next week. These 2 guys, they've got the best hair on the team probably, but that's not why I picked them. They're extremely hardworking guys, great kids, and really that goes for the entire football team. For us, I've been really impressed with the work ethic of the players. Took a little bit of time for everybody to get used to each other. It's a very serious group of players, and I like to joke around and have fun. So everybody's loosened up a little bit, and we're having a good time now while still working hard at the same time. Just really excited to be the coach at Cordova. Hoping that we get to have a season. A lot of uncertainty about what that's going to look like exactly. I feel like it changes every other day. But I would love to go through a season with this team. I really like this group, and I think we've got potential to be a pretty good football team too.
Coach, welcome in and welcome into the area. I know Jonathan did a very good introduction piece on you when we originally announced that you were hired. There was a couple of things, though, that we would be interested in hearing today, especially what will we see from you philosophy-wise, offense, defense, what you typically like to see in those sets carried out, and some of the key leaders outside of Blaze and Adam that we're looking to see this year?
Offensively, spread, pistol. I like to get the ball to different guys, and I think it's no different at Cordova than anywhere else I've been. There's a lot of good players there, a lot of talented guys. Forcing the defense to cover everybody is important, and that's easy to do when you've got a lot of good players. So getting the ball to multiple guys, that's balance to me. I don't think balance is 50-50 run. I think balance is forcing the defense to cover the entire field and cover all of your skill players, because you're getting the ball to all of those guys. You're balancing out how many touches each guy gets. So offensively, that's my philosophy. Defensively, attacking. I want us to be aggressive. I think that's how you play you should play defense, is get after them. We're going to run a 3-3 stack, which is an attacking style defense. DJ Emerson is going to be our defensive coordinator. He coached at Jasper for, I think, 9 years. Then he came to Tennessee with me for 2 years. We went to high school together. So I've been good friends for a long time. And I think he'll do a good job with the defense. Special teams, and a lot of people don't talk about special teams, but I think that's a critical part of the game, especially in high school football, because it can swing momentum, it can swing field position, all of that, just like it does in college and pro. Right now, kind of searching for a kicker, so that'll determine what we do on special teams, on certain units. I like for special teams to be exciting, guys to want to be on special teams. That's a big part to me of having a good special teams unit, is guys wanting to be on it and not looking at it like, oh, I've got to go out there for punt team. So our special teams will be exciting, and guys will want to be out there. Leadership-wise, of course, wouldn't have brought these two if they weren't good leaders. I'm still learning, who the leaders are going to be. Right now, I'd say Jordan Perrin is one of our top leaders of the team. Elijah Kilpatrick is another one that's done a really good job of being a leader. So we've got a leadership council, and there are 12 guys on that, and I want them to do it all together. It's a whole lot easier to lead a team when you've got numbers on your side as leaders. It's difficult to do it if you're just one individual or 2 or 3 guys. So those 12 guys, we expect them to lead the team, and it's not just seniors. It's made up of all different grades. So it is a good senior class, though, and I really like them. They're a hard-working bunch that gets after it out there, and they've all done a good job of leading, mostly by example. We're working on the being more vocal part, and that's something that we talk about often, and they're getting better. They're improving in that, and I think that'll continue to improve as the season goes on.
Thank you, Coach. Coming from Hamilton, I'm sure you know a little bit about Cordova. Tell us exactly what you didn't know about the program and the perception they have before you took this job.
I just always have thought of it as one of the best football programs in the state, as far as hard-nosed, just fierce competitors. The times I had watched them play, they got after you, and that stood out to me. And I turned on the film when I was in the interview process. I watched a lot of their highlight films, and I saw those same things that I had seen 10 years ago, as far as just gritty, tough, get after it type kids. And I saw that in them. And they had a decent record last year, decent season. I knew there was potential. So, I saw a lot of those characteristics come through those highlight films that I had remembered the last time I had watched them play, which was, back when two of my assistant coaches were playing, Tim Simon and Jake Houghton. I used to go to when I was in college, I would go to the Super Six at that time. We would go every year, and I think I told you this, Jonathan, when we interviewed, that I was on Cordova's side. I had press passes, so I stood on the sidelines for a lot of those games, and I was actually on Cordova's sideline. I was down there where the media was, kind of away from everybody, but I thought that's pretty neat that the last time they won a state championship, I was standing on their side. So that's the goal. Get back to that tradition and those winning ways that they had those years. So.
Coach, for the first 5 games on the road, how do you prepare for that?
Yeah, that was interesting when I looked at the schedule the first time to see that. That's a nice welcoming present there to get to play those games on the road against some really good teams. But hey, it's just part of it. Next year you'll ask me the opposite question: how excited are you to have your 3 out of the first 4 at home? So That's high school football. You just kind of have to deal with that and make the most of it. I've never been to these places, so I'm always interested in how things are set up. Where's the locker room? How far is the walk? So I've got a lot of research to do and how we plan and how we'll do things pregame at some of these spots and where we dress, all those things. I want to know the details. So I have some research to do to learn about those schools. But once you kick the ball off, man, it's just football. I know there'll be some great crowds at some places that we go play, but you got to block that stuff out and just play ball and focus on your job that you've got.
Yeah, this is for the players. We'll start over here. What differences are you seeing from last year's offense, defense, going into this year's defense and offense that you're playing so far?
Well, now we're playing both sides of the ball, and everybody's excited because you got to learn completely new defense, completely new offense.
Second question.
All right, well, same thing Blaze said. Most of us are playing both ways. Most of the seniors are. And it's a completely new offense, totally new defense to me because I didn't play defense last year. And I haven't played defense since Toy Bowl. So I'm just now getting back into it, and I'm really liking defense and offense too.
Coach, over the biggest county school for the first time ever. What do you think when you saw the team being on 5A and they're playing schools like Cordova and
I think it's different. Obviously, it's not the traditional schedule that Cordova has, but I think it provides opportunities. We're playing against some really good teams with some really good players, and that just gives our players a chance to show what they're capable of, especially guys that have aspirations of going to play at the next level. They'll get the chance to go against those good players, and if you can go against those guys and hold your own, then when those college coaches turn the tape on and they know who you're going against, man, you're going to get their attention. And that's a big goal for me, is to get kids to the next level. And so that's how I would look at it. It's just a good opportunity for our guys to show what they can do.
Coach, this is for you and the players also. I know you don't want to look back to last year a whole lot, but these guys won 5 straight games to get to the playoffs. And you guys, what do you feel about how do you use that momentum that they built at the end of last season to carry on into the beginning of this season? For me, that's a tough question because I wasn't a part of that momentum. And then I think with not having a spring practice and how different everything has been, that's something that really hasn't been talked about a whole lot. I think these guys, it's something I probably won't talk about much, but these guys hopefully learned from that and learned what it was like when they lost 5 in a row, and then you can learn on both sides of it, and then learned what was going good and how to do things when they were winning. I'm sure there were some differences in how things were being done, and probably their preparation, their mental state when they were going into games. So that's something that they can call back on and think about. But as far as talking about it or capitalizing on it, for me as their first year coach, I won't use it a whole lot. How about you guys? What do you think about coming in with that momentum?
Well, last year, at the start of the season, it was a lot of ours first seasons. So, we didn't really know what to expect before a game, during a game. So, I think those first 5 games, we just had to get settled down, what to expect and everything. And by the 6th game, we were already in it. That's when I feel like the momentum really started coming. We started getting more confidence, what to expect, everything like that.
Hey, everybody started clicking about mid-season. Everything was all there. It was just different parts. It just took some time to get everything to hit on all cylinders in one game.
Well, Blaze, Adam, this is specifically for you guys, as I know Coach hadn't quite been with you during that time, but you're one of the few teams that I didn't talk to about coming back after the long lockdown break, where you guys hadn't been around each other, hadn't played any other sports, hadn't done any workouts together. Talk about for a minute what that first couple of days was like, this first sense of normalcy that you had. You're back in workouts, but that had kind of been disrupted. Talk about how, those first couple of days of all being back together again was like, and what that did for you kind of all as a group to have normal life again.
Oh yeah, it definitely felt great to be back in it at all, and like to be back as a team. It felt like we were back in the rhythm, During the lockdown, it felt like we didn't have like any type of sports. Like it was never coming back. That's what it felt like. Like my senior season was going to be online. That's what I thought I was going to have to do.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like you work out with these kids since middle school, and then all of a sudden, that's the longest I went without seeing any of them. You go a couple months without seeing each other, and then you come back together. It's like a family.
Coach, this is an easy question, but why is it important that we have high school football this year?
I mean, I kind of hit on it earlier about guys who have aspirations to go play ball at the next level. It gives them a chance to show what they can do. Some of these kids, that's their best chance in order to go to college. Just being together, you just heard the excitement from both of these guys about, getting back together with their team. So obviously being with their buddies that they've grown up with, that's important to them. And, to take that away is tough. I hit on earlier about how me and Coach Emerson played high school ball together, and here we are 34 years old, and we're still together, working together, friends. That's because of high school football. So those lifelong friendships are developed, they're formed right now, that are so important, and guys need those, and it's important to have them. But just that team aspect, there's nothing like being together as a team. It teaches you so much, and gives you, such a springboard for the rest of your life, of things that you'll need to know, and working together and all that. It's just important, and I really hope we get to have a season.
What's your opinion on fans in the stands?
I know this, it'll be hard to keep people out of the stands at Cordova. There's quite a few there at practice every afternoon. So, when those lights come on, it'll be really tough to keep people out. I think if we do it responsibly, that it can be done. For places like Cordova, and these small communities, Friday night lights, that's a big deal. And having people at the games is a big deal. And just that community feel is important. And I hope that people can be there, because it's a cool experience for these guys. I watch the Braves every night the last couple weeks, and just nobody being in the stands, it's odd. But high school football, not to have fans, would be really strange. So I hope it gets worked out.
Coach, that was the last question for you guys. Just want to say thank you for being here, and wish you good luck on the season coming up. I want to remind everybody we're at Five Loaves Bakery in downtown Jasper. As you notice, our Cordova players and coach, they don't have their mask on, but we talked about it. They rode the car over here, and they get tested every day. I'm sure y'all test for fevers and things like that every day, like all the teams have to do. So most of our teams will be sitting and not having masks on. Throughout the rest of the building, you'll see everybody has their mask. We're all social distance, just to try to be sure that we don't spread it anymore, and we can keep everybody going and get this high school football season going, because it really is, like you said, it's important to a lot of players. There's some players that, they have built all the way to this senior season, and to not get to have that senior season can take away some really big opportunities for them in the future. So we want to move forward and have a great football season. We hope the Blue Devils take on this new region and show those Birmingham schools how we play football in Walker County.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back with the Curry Yellow Jackets as our next thing. We'll see you in just a few minutes.